Hey YouTubers, Unky Joe here, Unky Joe's Place, and today we have an exciting video for you. Well, it's exciting for me. I'm very excited, as you can see. It's all about my Tivo Bolt and how I have it set up and configured here on my home network. As you know from previous videos, we've decided we're going to dump DirecTV after the first of the year. It's just gotten too damned expensive for watching maybe 5 to 10 channels that we can get elsewhere and pay a la carte. Sorry, DirecTV. So we have an over-the-air antenna, we have Hulu, we have Netflix, we have HBO Go, we have Amazon Prime, we have everything we need, and over 500 DVDs and 50 Blu-rays to select from. So if we can't find entertainment with that setup, we got more problems than most people, I guess. Problems of the modern world, huh? Anyway, I got the Tivo. I've had a Tivo before. I had a Tivo, over-the-air Tivo, years ago. Then I had a Tivo that would work with DirecTV. And then I had a DirecTV. I hacked all of them, increased the hard drive storage, you name it, I did it to the Tivo. So I love the Tivo interface. Everybody in this family does. When I decided to cut the cord and get rid of DirecTV, because we can't get cable out where we live, I decided to give a serious look to the Tivo. And as you know, I have fooled around with I've got Roku 3s, I've got Windows Media Center, I've got Xbox 360s, and when you get an elderly parent in the house that needs to just watch TV, those devices, they just don't work. That's why I got the Tivo. The idea is one device to rule them all, and with a couple of exceptions that I wasn't aware of, again, didn't do all my research, this device is pretty much doing it. Had it in here since Wednesday, and I did an unboxing on my previous video that I put up on Thanksgiving, and now what I'm going to do is show you what it took to get that little unit hooked up. So let's get over to the video of me installing this thing, and forgive the state of my equipment closet. You'll hear me rant about it on the next video. So without further ado, here we go. Mess this closet is. It just really, I want to stop everything I'm doing right now, and I want to clean this closet, but I can't. I'm waiting on some jacks to come in, I'm waiting on wire ties, I'm waiting on another outlet, so we'll save that for another time. But God, it's driving me insane. I don't need this patch cable right now, so we'll just put it up here, out of the way. Our Tivo. Now I don't need an infrared blaster because this has an RF remote, but I do need to hook up the back of it. So let's give it a, first thing we need is a network connection. Plug that in. antenna connection. Oh my goodness. Pink. We'll plug our power in. And that should be all we need. We'll get the power adapter. And this is a 12 volt 3 amp power supply. I hate these things, but it's what they send. So let's get our power plugged into it. And of course it's all the way over here on the other side. And we'll plug the power brick in. Ooh. So it's booting up, but there's something inside rubbing on that fan. We shall see. We'll see if it comes up. So let's talk about, you've seen what a mess my equipment closet was, and I got the Tivo hooked up. One thing about this Tivo, I think it was an Amazon 30-day return. Once I peeled the protective plastic off, there were no scratches on the unit, but I did notice when the unit powers on, the fan is rubbing on something. You can hear it when it spins up. It's rubbing on something, and hopefully it's not rubbing on a wire. I don't want to have to send this back to Amazon. So I'm going to end up having to take this thing gently apart and find out why that fan is rubbing. Because I don't think they have another one of these that is in used condition. Especially not now that Black Friday has come on. Now you're going to see my eye. So that's the one issue I had with it. You're going to see I've had my hands on this Tivo since Wednesday. Today is Saturday? Friday. Actually today's Friday. And I've used it 2 nights. And so I don't know everything about it, but I'm going to tell you what I do know. The main thing that I know is this son of a bitch is fast. And I mean fast. It is, I thought my Roku 3 was fast, but this is fast. Responsive, no lag, nothing whatsoever. And that RF remote just makes it a breeze because you can hold the remote behind your head and it'll work. So one of the wonderful things about Tivo is you can create what are called, I call them wish lists, because that's what they've been called for years. I think Tivo calls it something else. I think they call it a one pass, but I call it a wish list. It basically allows you to go out there and do a search for any program you want, and the Tivo will not only find it on over-the-air or cable TV, but if you have your services configured for Amazon, Netflix, Hulu, Vudu, etc., it will go out and will find every instance of that program on every available video source that you subscribe to. And that is a major deal. I mean, I cannot tell you how many times my spouse has come to me and said, why do I have to go on the Netflix website to do searches? Why can't I do it right from the browser or right from the Roku? And he's right. When you search Netflix or Amazon, it's a pain in the ass doing it through the Roku interface. This one, it's easy. You just enter a title, let's say Walking Dead. It will go out there and it will return not only if it's coming up on cable, if you have the cable card in it, but it will tell you if it's coming out on Amazon and Netflix and YouTube. And it gives you a link to go right to that service and right to that specific program. It just takes you right there. Now let's talk about Hbo Go, because this is, you know, the devil is in the details, as people are fond of saying. My father was fond of saying that. He was right. The devil is in the details, because I am a subscriber to DirecTV. I have HBO. I even have Hbo Go on my Xbox 360, on my Plex. I'm not on my Plex, but on my Rokus. And it works, and I'm happy with it. And I even have HBO On Demand on DirecTV. But the Tivo does not support HBO Go to DirecTV subscribers because of contractual things or licensing issues. And I wish I had known that. I mean, it wouldn't have kept... I would have bought this thing anyway. But it would be nice, and it doesn't really matter anyway. I'm going to be dropping DirecTV, and so I'll lose my HBO. But it would have been nice to know that HBO Go actually wouldn't work on this unit. You know, my brother bought one of these as well, and he has Time Warner Cable in San Antonio, where they're changing their name. But he can't get his HBO Go on his Tivo either because they don't have licensing rights with Time Warner Cable for whatever reason. It was real easy to pair this unit with my online services and get it to work. One thing that is kind of it's not a deal killer because it has enough. Again, what I'm after is live TV and with a guide for my mother. And the rest of the stuff is all just gravy. So it does that already. But there's no Sling TV on the Tivo Bolt yet. Now, I don't know anything more than everybody else does, but it's my hunch that at some point Sling and Tivo are going to come together, and they're gonna make that available on the Tivo Bolt and the other over-the-air Tivo. But it would be nice to have the ability to have Sling on this if we decide to get it, so that we could use our HBO on Sling, because HBO is available on Sling for $15 a month, $16 a month. And there wouldn't be more than one of us streaming at one time, so we probably would get the, I think it's the orange plan that gives you all the channels, and then we'd add HBO. So, but it has this lovely Tivo remote. I just love this remote. It works. It works great. To fast forward, you know, sometimes the issue with Plex is when you have to fast forward. It takes about 5 seconds to fast forward, do the 30-second jump, which is, you know, I would prefer it would be faster, but I'm sure Plex will deal with that as time allows. Plex integration, it just works right out of the box. I didn't have any issue with it at all. As you put your Tivo Bolt, say in your living room, if you're not like me and have a projector or whatever. And then what you do is you buy these little Tivo minis, okay? Now, these Tivo minis do not work wirelessly. But here's the idea. So you can have one in the master bedroom, other bedroom, loft, den, or whatever. So we're going to put one in the living room, one in my mother's room, and one in our bedroom. There is no wireless on these, okay? You can do, if you get a Mocha adapter and you eject the Mocha signal into your Tivo at the main Tivo, and you have coax run to all your rooms, then you're set. You just use the Mocha interface. It has component outputs. I don't know if the cable comes with it. I'll find out when I order mine. It has, again, the little mini DIN connector for the audio-video, HDMI out, Ethernet, and USB, and then for the power plug. So these do not connect up wirelessly, which is great because you won't be happy. So your option is to, if you have coax run to your rooms, you're set. You just have to buy that Mocha adapter, and it's on Tivo's webpage. Or if you have Ethernet, which is what I would recommend if you don't have Mocha and you have Ethernet cables, or even power line adapters would work in this instance. You could just connect one up here and then one in your server closet or wherever your other Tivo is, and it would work. I would suggest running a Cat 5e or 6 cable to do that. You're going to be a lot happier with it because I guess Tivo agrees with me. You don't want to stream high def, especially 4K, over wireless, because I just don't think you're going to be happy with it. So the multi-room experience, you get a remote with batteries included. You get the mini power adapter. They throw in an HDMI cable and an installation guide. And everything that plays on the Tivo Bolt, Amazon, Amazon Prime, Netflix, all the services you get a mirror image of that on the remote TiVos, and or the Tivo Minis. So you're all set. It's a one-stop shop. So it will be an exact replacement for what we have on DirecTV. The only exception being that we have it wired instead of wireless. And I will not, for one, be sad to see the wireless go. Hopefully that wasn't too long-winded. And again, I'm trying to give you all the information I've learned up to this point about the Tivo Bolt. And our next video is going to be a demonstration of the Tivo Bolt interface. And I'm going to take you through everything I know about it. And so let's get to that, shall we? Okay. Anytime you want to go, flip to that video. That would be great. Okay, so we're gonna cover the Tivo interface and go over the settings. So let's start with live TV. If I hit the live TV button, this will give me a program guide of all the shows I have coming up to watch, and it gives the listings are up to 2 weeks. So if I wanted to say I want to watch Three's Company, come down here, I press the select button, and bing bang boom, I've got TV. Let me pause that. I don't want to get a copyright infringement. So let me go back to the guide and give you an example. Say I want to watch the Johnny Carson show. Well, Johnny's not on right now. Or say, better yet, I want to watch Bewitched. So if I go down and highlight it and I press the select button, it'll give me the option to watch it now on Amazon or to record this episode. So if I record this episode, it'll go out and it'll add it to the list of items to be recorded, and we'll put a check mark next to it. So there's the guide. Again, I can come forward and I can look forward in time up to 2 weeks. You can see I've got all my channels on here. Let's go to Star Trek real quick. Great. And you can see how quick it is even to change channels. Okay. If I press the Tivo button at the very top of the remote, it goes right back to the Tivo Central. So let's talk about My Shows. So if I click on My Shows, this contains everything I have recorded and everything I have set up a one-pass for. So you can see I've got the $6 Million Man on there. If I hit the select button, it gives me options to play, delete. I can find related videos. I could explore this show, and then even have more options there. Stargate Atlantis, and you see it's in a folder. You see Battlestar Galactica and Downton Abbey. This is one of the things I really love about the Tivo. So say I set up these up as a one list, or what are they called here? One pass. I set that up as a one pass just to test it. So let's go to Stargate Atlantis, and let's say I want to go to season 4 and I want to watch Adrift. If you notice over on the right hand side underneath the program description, it tells you it is available on Hulu. Now if it were available on Amazon Prime and available on Netflix, that would appear there as well. Let me show you another one. Let's do Battlestar Galactica. Let's do season 2. And let's select Valley of Darkness. Now it tells me it's available on Amazon and Hulu. Now, you're probably saying to yourself, well, right there it only tells you it's available on Hulu. And that is because I have set up my one pass system to only tell me streaming videos that are not rented and or buyable. So Hulu doesn't have any option to buy a video. So on the program guide, on the one list, it does not show Amazon down there. But if I go into the program details by pressing select, it does tell me it's available on Amazon as well. So if it's not available on Amazon Prime, and it may not go, it gives me only the option to buy it. But I can still, if you've set up your Amazon account to allow you to buy with your Roku or whatever online, and it'll prompt you for the PIN number and allow you to buy it or rent it or whatever is available. So that's a pretty neat feature. And I'm going to exit the application and go back. Let me pause the video here. So that's why it lists Amazon down there, because it is available to rent or buy. But I've told it to filter that out on my one list. So that's why I didn't show it. Now, if it was available on Prime, it would appear here under this description. Let me see if I can find one that's available on, well, there's one that's available on Prime. I was hoping I had one here. Let's look for, let's do a search. Well, anyway, let's finish covering this. So under my shows, it's everything I recorded, and it gives you all the information on there. I could even modify the one pass that I used to set up that recording. And you see, I've told to include recordings and streaming videos. Let me go back here. So this is where all my recorded videos are. I could even search Tivo Suggestions, go to what to watch now on recommended TV shows. I could jump right into Netflix, Amazon, Hulu, YouTube, and Plex. Okay, so if we go to what to watch now, this is mainly live TV or over the air or cable, so it doesn't really populate this much. But this tells you what channel it's on. It gives you a little channel logo in the bottom, like Laugh, or and it even shows you the channel it's going to appear on. Say we're with sports, movies, and kids movies. So this is the big one right here. Find TV, movies, and videos. So I could either go to Netflix, Amazon, Hulu, YouTube, or Plex and search these manually through the regular interface for all those respective services. But if I use the search feature under Tivo, let's do a search for Frasier. And there he is, the second item on the list. So I just go over to there and looking down under Frasier, it tells me it's available on regular TV, it's available on Netflix, Amazon Prime, and Hulu. So if I go into there and I go to episodes, for example, let's look at season 6. So good grief, that tells me it's available on Netflix, Amazon and Prime, Amazon Prime and Hulu. If I go to it and I tell it, hey, I want to watch it on Netflix, all I do is press the select button, and in a moment it will start streaming from Netflix. Now the beauty of this is you don't have to go to the Netflix interface. You don't have to log in to Netflix. It does it for you automatically. And then when I'm done, I just press Tivo Central again and I'm back to my Tivo interface. So that search feature is what's going to make me a hero in this household. Because I cannot tell you how many times my spouse has come to me and said, I can't find, why do I have to go to my computer and search Netflix there and Amazon to find what I want? I just want to be able to search and find it. And so now we have that feature. I think you will admit that is a very, very powerful feature. So I go back here. I can also browse TV and movies, set up wish lists, that kind of thing. And wish lists are basically, you can create the name of a program and it'll go out and find all versions of it and record it for you. Manage recordings and one pass. So if I go to my to-do list, this is mainly my recording, TV recordings that are upcoming. And look how snappy that interface is. I just can't believe that. One pass manager. So this is where I've set up my one passes. Let me show you the difference between a TV one pass and an online. So I go to MASH, and if I go to modify options, I told it include recordings only. You can do streaming, recordings, and recording and streaming, but I just told it recordings only. You can start it from any season you want to. You can see there it says rent or buy, don't include, new and repeats, yada, yada, yada. And here it is for Downton Abbey. So if I go to modify my options, I tell it streaming videos only, and you notice there under rent or buy, I tell it do not or don't include. That's so it doesn't appear on the interface in my list in the primary one. And you can go to history and see what's been deleted, and it'll even tell you if the show is recoverable. So if your kid deletes something by mistake, you can always come back and get it later, you know, within a certain amount of time. Music and photos, you have iHeartRadio, Pandora, Plex, and Spotify. Apps and games are pretty much non-existent. So if we come down to settings and messages, under messages, these are messages that the Tivo service will send you. Hopefully you read them. If not, no big deal. Help. This is where you can get your account and system info. I'm not going to go into there or into that because I don't want anybody getting my serial number. But you can run diagnostics here, etc., etc., etc. You can do troubleshooting, restart your Tivo, and reset it to defaults. It does have parental controls. You can even lock out certain channels, hide adult shows, etc. User preferences, very handy if you want to turn closed captioning on by default. Your video window is that little window in the upper right hand corner. So if I turn that off, it disappears. So it's good if you're filming YouTube videos so you don't get copyright infringement. One pass and recording options. So my defaults, these are your default settings, recording options when you set up a new recording, a one pass, or a wish list. And I've told mine only to include recordings only. What I can do is put it on both. So by default, it'll find recordings and streaming videos. But for mine, I just set it for recordings. I'm going to actually change that back to recording and streaming videos because the option right below it is the one I really wanted to turn on. I told it don't include rent or buy. And then I record new and repeats. Now these are defaults. You can still customize these on each show that you set up to record. So even if you make a boo-boo here, you can change that when you go to do your recording. Clip overlapping shows is set to on. I should probably set that to off, but the Tivo has 4 tuners, so I'm not really concerned about that. And then a big one here is called Tivo Suggestions. You know, Tivo monitors what you watch. It pays attention to what you're searching for on the internet. And then if it sees a show coming on live TV that it thinks you may like, it'll record it automatically. I have turned that off. And customize the discovery bar. I've told it, this is that, I'll show you this in a minute, but I've told it only to show me popular, top picks, my shows, and new on demand. And that appears right here above. Okay. Go to channel and app settings. These are my channels, my local stations that I get in this area. I don't have all the channels available to me. If I were to put up another antenna and point it north, I'm currently pointed southwest, so I get all the stations in San Antonio. If I point it to the northeast, I get all the stations in Austin, but they're just repeats so of the same channels I get in San Antonio. But you could use multiple antennas on here if you wanted to. So this is how you block out channels that you don't receive. Your video providers. This is where you can choose your online video providers when you do a search. So if you had HBO Go, you could turn it on. I've got Amazon Prime, Hulu, YouTube, Plex. But you can see it's got Vudu, HSN, Alt Channel, Fixed Fling, WWE, Yahoo, and Yup TV. Another handy feature is the signal strength meter for your antenna, so you could check every channel. I'm just going to stroll through the channels real quick. I know I've got some out here like 29. It should have a good healthy signal. There we go, KABB, and there it is, and it even tunes in the picture. So let's go back. I'm sorry, I have to press clear. Let me find the clear button. There we go. Audio and video settings, you can customize your language. You can turn that that little bloop, bloop, bloop that you hear, that is the sound effect volume. You can turn that off. The aspect correction mode, this is important. When I'm watching old TV like Beverly Hillbillies and Hogan's Heroes, I want to see it in 4:3. I don't want it stretched, so that's why I set this to panel. This, as far as I can tell, has no effect on high def videos. They still display normally. But when you have older 4:3 TV, if you leave this set to full, it stretches the 4:3 video. If you leave it on panel, it adds side boxing and or letterboxing. So that's what I keep it to. And you can change that while you're viewing the show by simply pressing the zoom button. That will do the same thing. You can choose the color of your letterbox and sidebar, and then your video resolution. Network settings, just what you think. This is where you can go and connect, change your network settings, view your network status, connect using Mocha, etc., etc. Then remote cable card devices. So this is where you name if you had a cable card decoder, this is where you would come. External storage, I've named this the man cave. Network remote control, your remote control setup for programming what devices you want the Tivo to control. And then tuning adapter. So my brother and I had a conversation over Thanksgiving. He just got a Tivo Bolt a couple of weeks ago, and he's on Time Warner Cable in San Antonio. And his Tivo required a tuning adapter. So keep that in mind. That may be something your cable provider has to provide for you, in addition to a cable card for your Tivo. And then you can turn the lights off on the front of the Tivo if you want to. And I've got my power saving setting to high, so that it'll go into standby for after 2 hours, and suggestions will not be recorded. So, all right, so that is and then I can put it in standby here. So that is the settings and messages. All right, so let's talk about Plex. So somebody online was complaining, hey, in order to play Plex, you have to come to music and photos. Okay, yeah, it is there, but if you come to find TV, movies, and videos, you'll notice that Plex is down there. Now, one thing you did notice is when we did a search, it did not search my Plex database for any movies. In fact, let's do this. Let's just try that out. I want to make sure that I'm telling you the right thing. Let's go to, what movie do I have on the Plex? I want to do something easy. Let's do Prometheus, one of my favorite movies. So if I search for Prometheus, right there, 2012, you notice the only thing it shows is Amazon. It doesn't show that I have that available on Plex. So that search feature does not work with Plex, but it does work with all your other online video services. So let's just go into Plex, and I'll show you how quick that is to get into Plex. It's a pretty speedy interface. I'm very, very happy with this. And we'll go ahead and log in as my spouse here. Now, if I arrow up and come over here, I have some settings I can change, and I'm going to cover these settings in a little bit more detail when I'm done with this presentation. So you can set Plex to automatically sign in your language. These are all pretty self-explanatory. Audio, self-explanatory. Video. Now this is how I have mine set. Now these are all default settings out of the box, with the exception of these two. Direct play and direct stream. And I'm going to explain to you after I do the demonstration as to why I have those turned off. And then your privacy and about. So those are the settings you can adjust. Let's go watch Young Frankenstein here. And I'm going to play the 480p 5 meg version. This is the one I ripped using Make MKV directly to an MKV file. So I'm going to go ahead and play that. And it takes a minute or so for it to come up. Wait till we get a picture here. All right. Now I'm going to fast forward. So I'm going to fast forward about 3 or 4 minutes, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So about 7 seconds to fast forward my 480p video that I ripped directly with MKV without putting through Handbrake. Now I'm going to play the optimized version that Plex did for TV, standard definition, 3 megabit per second. I'm going to go ahead and play that one. We'll let it come up. Let it start playing. And there we go. And now I'm going to fast forward through this one. So let's go about 4 or 5 minutes. There we go. And 1, 2, 3, 4, about 4 seconds. All right, let's get rid of that. Let's go back. And all I got to do to get back to Tivo is hit the Tivo button, and boom, we're right back to Tivo. So that's the Plex interface. So I think I've covered everything. Again, you can see how quick it is. I have not set up Pandora or Spotify. I don't even have a Spotify account, but I do have Pandora, but I haven't set it up and tested it yet. But we'll save that for a future video. So as you can see, it's a speedy interface. Everything works as it's supposed to. Wow, just wow. That's about all I can say about the Tivo Bolt. I don't think I've been happier with it. Yeah, I know. I've had it 3 days now, 4 days. Let's see, Wednesday I got it. So I've had it Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I've had it 4 days now. Yeah, I've had it 4 days and I'm in love with this thing. And if I'd have known how well I would have liked it, I would have even paid double what I paid for it. It's that good. It is, for me, truly one device to rule them all. The interface is speedy. The hookup was simple. I did have one odd problem. When I first hooked up the Tivo Bolt and went out to, because you have to hook it up to the internet, let it download all the updates, and before you can connect to Tivo. And then when you connect to the Tivo service, you get your service ID number, and you go online, and you pay your monthly fee, agree to the terms and conditions, and your Tivo's activated. Mine wouldn't do that. It kept getting to the point where it was trying to connect to the internet and just die and come back with an error. And I got to checking into the error, and they said it's probably your firewall, bypass your firewall, my Carrier control firewall. So I did, and I hooked up my Edge Router Lite, and it went right out with no problems at all. I still have my Edge Router Lite hooked up for that very reason, because I want to be able to test the Tivo, not have to worry about my firewall being an issue. I'll resolve that later. I'll find out what ports I need to open or what I need to do to allow that service to go out. Let's talk a minute about Plex. Plex, I love you. I really, really do. I love you so much. I've invested my music, photo, and video collection with you. And it's not your fault. It really isn't. It's really mine again. Remember when I got the device, the tuner, the Silicon Dust Tuner HD Home Run Connect for Plex, and thought I was going to be able to watch live TV? Yeah, well, that's the story of my life, because evidently when you go to rip your videos and convert them to MP4s from DVDs, you should make sure under Handbrake you have the little button marked that says optimized for web. And of course, all the videos I've been ripping over the past years have not had that little box checked. And of course, the one device that needs them to play them natively without having to encode them or transcode them is the Tivo. It's the story of my life, I swear. I swear to God, it's the story of my life. That's the reason those two buttons are not checked under the Tivo. So until I re-encode all my videos, which I'm not going to do, moving forward, if I create any MP4 videos, I will definitely make sure that little optimize for web is checked. But I'm going to continue to use Make MKV, like I said, and just rip the DVD to an MKV file because it plays fine in Plex. And unchecking those two little boxes makes the Tivo transcode everything on Plex. But you'll remember I have my Plex server running on that Dell R710 server, and it doesn't skip a beat. And I can fast forward and rewind. So moving forward, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. But you better beware, if you're ripping videos from DVD or Blu-rays down to an MP4 file, you better make sure you have that web optimized or optimized for web button checked, because here's what was happening. It was playing high def videos that I ripped with Make MKV and did not convert just fine. It played them directly. it did not need to transcode them at all. But anytime I'd go to play a DVD that I had ripped and run through Handbrake to convert to an MP4, it would actually throw me out of the Plex application back to Tivo Central. And I did my research this time, and I found that it was a common issue, and what you have to do is turn those two little boxes off and then allow Plex to transcode the video. So I did that. And then it said you can run these things through a converter on the Macintosh side. So I put the program on my Hackintosh and ran it. That moves that little web-optimized Moog point or HTML file or whatever it is that tells Tivo, hey, I'm web-optimized, to the beginning of the file from the end of the file. And I tried that. It didn't work. And then the other solution was just to re-optimize the videos through Plex. So I tried that, and it worked. But and it only took about 10 to 15 minutes to do it for a DVD. But I don't want to have to go through and re-encode. I have 2 copies of my videos for everything. So I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing and just let the Tivo transcode the video on the Plex server. And I'll come back to that later. Maybe if they fix it's not even something they need to fix, it's something I need to fix. But I'm not re-ripping all these videos just to satisfy the Tivo, because for a minute there, I swear to God, I thought the Tivo I was not gonna be able to use it the way I wanted to, and started to freak out. So back to our subject at hand, the Tivo Bolt. Would I recommend it? Oh, hell yeah. In fact, I'm gonna shout it from the rooftop. Now, a lot of people get hung up on that $15 a month service fee. You can pay that for the whole year for $149. If you're strapped for cash, do what I do and just pay $14.99 a month. You have to agree to a 1-year service commitment. Who cares? Either way, I'm going to pay it. I mean, you're going to have to pry this Tivo out of my cold dead hands, because I like it that much. And I haven't talked to my brother about how he likes his, but I forgot how good the Tivo experience was. You know, I've had Tivo before, so if you've got cable or over the air, get one of these boxes. And if you have to pay $300 for it, it's worth every damn penny, in my opinion. I love the thing. Cannot say enough good things about it. As I continue to learn new things on it, or if I find problems, I'll update this video with a vlog video. That's where I do most of my catching up and updating. But wow, yeah, I'm kind of sitting here in stunned silence because I can't wait to get my videos done and my editing and my work done, because I get to play with my Tivo. That's how, and I've gone back to actually watching shows now. Because to be honest with you, it's so hard to search on streaming services. Well, for me anyway. I don't have the skill set some of you do, I'm sure, but it was so hard for me to find stuff online on my online services that most of the time they went unused. But with this tool, the Tivo, doing the searches for me, man, I've got like a new lease on my streaming service. So there you go. I love the Tivo Bolt. Hopefully you will too. I would strongly suggest picking one of these up if you're looking to cut the cord. Yeah, it's $15 a month. I really don't give a damn, because the over-the-air TV is free, so I'm saving, you know, $150 on over DirecTV, so who cares? You've probably also noticed on this video we've tried to improve the production standards, and I've got some background music and some sound effects, and I just think it makes it easier to get through some of these longer videos if there's a little music in the background. And so hopefully you appreciate it. If you don't like it, tell me about it. Please don't give me a thumbs down. Just put a comment in the comment section. And if I get enough negative people saying negative things about it, I won't do it anymore. But I like it, you know, and so screw you. Maybe I will continue to do it. I don't know. Depends on the day of the week and how I feel at the time. So anyway, look, I have thoroughly enjoyed doing this video for you guys. I couldn't wait to get my hands on the Tivo to do it, and you know, I'm like a kid in the candy store. So I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you found it informative. Give us a thumbs up down below, and subscribe to our videos if you're not already a subscriber, because we would sure like to see you again. Over 1,000 views on our videos. We're doing well. Thanks for all your support, and I look forward to talking to y'all again. Bye-bye. See you on the other side.